Welcome to the Explainer. Ever thought about what's really happening when you touch your phone's screen? It's like this tiny, invisible story that unfolds in a split second. Today, we're going to follow the journey of a single finger, from the moment it taps the glass to the final swipe, and we'll uncover the powerful code that actually brings your apps to life. So here's the plan. We're going to track this touch from the very beginning, follow it as it moves around, and see what happens at the grand finale when the interaction is a success. We'll even check out what happens when things go wrong, when the journey gets cut short. And then, to wrap it all up, we'll give you a kind of toolkit for handling all this stuff in your own apps. Yeah, think about it. Every time you swipe, tap, or drag, it's like a secret conversation happening between your finger and your phone. We're about to listen in on that conversation and figure out the language of these touch events. So let's pull back the curtain and see the magic that powers every single interaction you build. All right, let's get into it. Before we even look at a line of code, we need a simple way to think about this whole process, a mental model, if you will. Think of it like a roadmap for the entire life cycle of a touch. If you get this down, you'll be able to navigate all the complexities with way more confidence. Okay, look at this. I want you to just burn these 4 words into your brain. Start, update, finish, and abort. Seriously, these are the 4 pillars of our mental model. They're going to be our guideposts for this entire explainer. If you can just remember these 4, you are well on your way to mastering touch events. All right, let's start at the very beginning. Our journey picks off at the precise moment a finger makes contact with the screen. This is the spark, right? The thing that ignites the whole interaction, the first chapter in our touch story. So this method, touchesBegan, it's basically the starting gun in a race. It is the very first signal your app gets, and it's telling you, hey, a new touch has just started. This is your chance to get ready for whatever's coming next, to prepare your app for the journey ahead. So what can you actually do with this signal? Well, you could make a button glow to show it's being pressed, or you could grab the starting point of a drag and drop. Or you could just record the initial coordinates of the touch, kind of like a detective gathering clues at the scene. And here's the bottom line. touchesBegan is the gatekeeper. Nothing happens without it. It is the start of our mental model, the foundation that everything else is built on. Okay, so our journey has begun. Now it's time to get moving. The finger has landed, and now it's sliding across the screen, leaving a trail of touch events behind it. This is where the real action happens, where the interaction truly comes to life. As long as that finger is dragging or dancing across the screen, this method, touchesMoved, is being called over and over and over again. It's like a constant drumbeat. It's giving you a nonstop stream of data, a real-time feed of the finger's every single move. This is the engine that drives any continuous action, right? It's the magic behind dragging an icon. It's the artistry that lets you draw a line in a sketch app. And it's the precision you need for things like adjusting a slider to get it just right. So what's really cool here is that touchesMoved represents this continuous conversation between the user and the app. It's not just one event. It's a whole dance of data that makes our apps feel so alive and responsive. This is the update phase we talked about. It's happening constantly. All right, every journey has to come to an end. And for a successful touch, this is the moment of truth. The user has arrived at their destination, and it's time to celebrate a completed trip. This method, touchesEnded, it gets fired when the user intentionally lifts their finger off the screen. It's their way of saying, okay, I'm done. And that's your cue to take the final action. And this is where the magic really happens, right? A simple tap on a button finally triggers the action. A dragged item finally finds its new home. A beautiful drawing gets saved for good. It's the culmination of the whole life cycle, the grand finale of our story. And just like that, we've hit the finish line of our mental model. The journey's complete. The mission's accomplished, and hopefully the user is happy. It's a win-win, all thanks to touchesEnded. But what happens when the journey gets cut short unexpectedly? What if something throws a wrench in the works? Well, that's the unplanned exit, the plot twist in our story. Now, notice the key word here, system. This isn't the user just changing their mind and lifting their finger. No, this is the operating system stepping in and saying, whoa, hold on, we have to stop this touch right now. It doesn't happen often, but it's super important to be ready for it. So what could possibly be important enough for the system to just cancel your touch? Well, an incoming phone call is the classic example. A low battery alert is another one. And if the user switches to a different app or some system UI pops up, that'll also cancel the current touch. This is your chance to be a hero, really. When a touch gets canceled, it's your job to clean everything up and get the app back to a clean, stable state. Stop any animations, reset any flags. It's not the most glamorous part, but it is absolutely essential for a good user experience. This is our abort step. Okay, so we follow the entire journey of a touch, from its humble start to its successful finish, and even its unexpected cancellation. Now it's time to put all this knowledge to good use. Let's talk about your touch toolkit and when you should actually reach for these powerful low-level methods. So here's the deal. For most common interactions, taps, swipes, pinches, you really don't need to reinvent the wheel. Gesture recognizers are going to be your best friends. They're way simpler, they're pre-built, and they will save you a ton of time. But for those times when you need total control, when you're building a really unique custom gesture or a drawing app or some cool game controls, that's when these low-level touch methods become your secret weapon. And the key takeaway here is pretty simple. Knowledge is power. I mean, even if you're mostly use gesture recognizers, just understanding this underlying touch lifecycle will make you a better developer. It'll help you debug those really tricky issues, it'll give you the confidence to tackle more complex interactions, and it just opens up a whole new world of creative possibilities. So I'll leave you with this question. Now that you know the rules of the journey, what custom interaction are you going to build? This knowledge really does unlock a new level of creativity. Go out there and create something amazing, something no one's seen before. Push the boundaries of what's possible, and really have some fun with it.